Guess what, guys? I got so focused on the equations of the inequalities that I completely forgot about two really important pieces of information. One, when you've got 9 over 4 plus x plus 3 divided by 5, this is called an expression. When you've got that same thing, but where the plus is, there's a less than or a greater than sign, this is called an inequality. And when there's an equals in the middle, it's called an equation. This is the simplest little problem, and yet a lot of people get it wrong. I just wanted to emphasize this piece of information. That way it would help you to get through that little bitty problem, which is almost a give me, or at least it should be, but people don't get it. So I just wanted to help you along there. Now, all of my problems ended up with a positive x or y. Well, guess what? You don't always get a positive x or y. Occasionally, it'll go ahead and set it up so that you've got a negative number in front. So when this happens, you have to divide by a negative. Now, there's an issue dividing by a negative. We have to flip the direction of the inequality. So that gives us x bigger than or equal to negative 5. The fact that we get a negative number doesn't make the difference. The fact that we divided by a negative is the big fat hairy deal here. I could have even had negative 15, which would have made this negative, a positive 5 instead. I still had to flip this inequality because I divided by the negative. So what happens here? Dividing by a negative 5, well, we do not get a negative 0 because 0 is not positive or negative. But because I divided by a negative, I flip my sign the other direction. Okay? Those were the two really important parts that I needed to tell you, and I'll just go ahead and explain this. The reason I keep telling you take small x to big X is to keep from getting a negative number in front of x. That keeps you from having to forget to flip your sign. So this is part of why I keep telling you and emphasizing small x to big X, even if you have to jump through more hoops to get there. So, enjoy this chapter and ask for help if you're not enjoying it. Just don't ask for help on a test.